Spoiler alert, Arne Slot and Richard Hughes are showing their hand in what their transfer strategy is. I think this is really exciting. I'm going to break it down for you. Let's jump right in. Let's look at the 4, potentially 5 moves that we've seen Arne Slot and Richard Hughes do together. The first was Mamardashvili last summer, obviously left him at Valencia and basically said, hey, we're going to bring you in next summer, and that's what they're going to do this summer. So Mamardashvili is coming in for about $30 million this summer, and Liverpool at the time, basically, they had Alisson, they had Quaden Kelleher, and they snatched up one of the best young keepers. Last summer, he really shone bright in the international tournament for his country. For Georgia, and Liverpool went and snatched him right up. Now, a lot of people have said, why do we even need this guy? Alisson is still the best in the world, one of the best in the world, and we had one of the best number 2s in the world, Quaden Kelleher. Well, I think this just plays into the strategy that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, but keep that one in mind. Let's go to the next one. The Chiesa chance. Hughes took a shot at a rehab project. So far, it hasn't worked out. I don't know if it ever will, and they might just abandon that ship this summer. But it was really a low risk, high reward. The price they paid for him was very minimal, and the Chiesa chance probably won't work out. But hey, that's okay. It's not like we spent $60 million on him. The Frimpong fit. Some have doubted the Frimpong signing that will be imminent here. It's going to happen, but some have doubted his defensive ability. Some have said, really, like Frimpong is going to get absolutely destroyed on that right side in the Premier League. Look at his defensive numbers at Leverkusen. They're really, really poor. But I think the Frimpong fit just plays into the strategy, and I think Liverpool have signed a brilliant right back, a brilliant potential right winger as well. And I think this is going to be really, really fun to see what Arne Slot does with these different pieces. So Kerkez is probably going to come in. I've been saying this for the last couple months that I think Milos Kerkez is probably the name that I would consider most likely to be signed. Obviously, Frimpong is happening as well. So Kerkez, I think, was always going to be coming to Liverpool this summer. And again, it's just a note of Liverpool are going to go out and get some really, really good players. Maybe not the style of player that Liverpool have historically needed in those positions, but I think Kerkez probably is the closest fit to a prime Andy Robertson, and he's really young to boot. So here's the last one, the Wirtz wonder. The Florian Wirtz, I just can't picture it in my head. I don't think it's going to happen, but the Wirtz wonder, if Wirtz could be Liverpool's next talisman, this would be a massive clue in what Arne Slot and Richard Hughes are doing at Liverpool. And that is this. They bring in the best players available, right? The best players in the world available. Now, here in America, there is a thing where, we have drafts. We have a draft where teams, they get ranked throughout the year, and then they get to pick in order a player from, college or from the younger recruiting class. So there is a notion here in American sports. Let's say you've got a basketball team and the number 1 pick, you've got the number 1 pick in the draft, and there's a kid who's really, really good. Let's say he's a 7-footer. He's a really good big man, but you've already got a really good big man. Well, you might opt to go take the second best player who maybe is a better fit for your team instead of taking the best available player. I think Liverpool are taking the best available players that they can get. Just bring them in, bring in these world-class players, and then you let Slot fit the puzzle pieces together, right? You let Slot fit those puzzle pieces together in what is going to be a very mysterious team. So, let's look at potentially a starting 11 for Arne Slot next season. You've got the familiar faces here in kind of that back 3 triangle, but then you've got Frimpong and Kerkez. Let me just tell you how crazy that is going to be for teams to try to defend. If you give up the ball against this Liverpool defense, it is going to be insane to watch these counterattacks with Kerkez and Frimpong absolutely blistering pace down that left and right-hand side. It's going to be scary because you've got the best midfield duo in England in Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister. By the way, I think Szoboszlai retains his spot. Yes, I do. Even with Florian Wirtz coming in, I think Szoboszlai retains his spot. And I'm going to show you where Florian Wirtz could play. I think it's Gakpo and Salah. Maybe Diaz stays, but I think Diaz might be sold this summer. And then I think it's Wirtz up top. I really do. I think if Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz, I think you could see a Wirtz-Szoboszlai kind of rotation in that false 9 position. And that would be insane. Just think about the clinicalness of Florian Wirtz's game and the abilities he has. If you put him in that role and you've got Frimpong and Kerkez, Salah, Gakpo, Gravenberch, McAllister feeding him up top, bro, that is just insane. I mean, Florian Wirtz, that's a completely different style than we've ever seen from Liverpool, not really having a number 9 up top. And it's really different than anything we've seen in world football. And I think it would be absolutely insane. I think it would give Liverpool tons of control. We're not reliant on a number 9 to go get goals. We're reliant more on a team game where you could see Gakpo, Wirtz, Salah, maybe even Szoboszlai, McAllister. Hey, Kerkez and Frimpong could put in 5 goals apiece. I think you'd spread around the goal-scoring opportunities and abilities if you had somebody like a Florian Wirtz connecting so many pieces on that front line. And so I think the strategy for Hughes and Slot is, hey, let's look at the market. Let's see who's available. Who can we go get? Not necessarily what do we need, but who's out there. Let's bring in the best possible players to Liverpool and let Arne Slot, the genius, figure out how to put all the puzzle pieces together. I think it's brilliant. And I don't know if Florian Wirtz is going to happen. I don't think he is. But if he does, it's going to be super interesting to see what Arne Slot does with all these exciting pieces that Liverpool seem like they're bringing in this summer. So let me know what you think. Get your comments in below as always. Oh, the Reds, we're so excited.